All right, so today we're going to deep dive into someone who I think is like super fascinating
Oh, yeah.
in Indian cinema.
Absolutely.
Rani Mukerji.
Yeah.
And we have got a pretty thorough biography here, which is going to help us like really go through her career.
For sure.
And kind of see how she developed as an actor and the impact she's had and all that good stuff.
Yeah. And what we're looking at is like not just to like, go over the movies she's been in, but really like what were the moments that mattered?
Right.
What were the big shifts?
Exactly.
And how did she come to be such a force in Indian cinema?
I think a lot of people, when they think of her, they think of like Kuch Hota Hai.
Right. A classic.
A total classic.
90s.
Yeah. Or maybe Mrs. Chatterjee versus Norway, something like more recent.
Oh, yeah.
But there is so much more to her than just those like big hits.
Yes.
So let's start at the beginning, I guess, like with her origin story.
So Rani Mukerji was born on March 21st, 1978 in Mumbai, Maharashtra. And one of the things that really stands out right away is like she comes from this family that is like deeply entrenched in Indian film.
It's like a whole dynasty.
It really is. Yeah. Her father, Ram Mukherjee, was a film director. And quite importantly, he was a founder of Filmalaya Studios.
Wow.
Her mother, Krishna Mukherjee, was a playback singer.
Okay.
So for those who don't know, that's the person who records the songs that the actors then lip sync to in the films.
Oh, okay.
And her brother, Raja Mukherjee, is also involved in the industry as a producer and director.
So she was like surrounded by this world.
All completely immersed.
Yeah.
From the very beginning.
And I think that gives us a really interesting context for how she eventually came into the film world herself. It wasn't like she was coming in from outside. She like already knew this world.
Right.
And we even see this influence like extending to her cousins, the actresses Kajol and Tanisha Mukherjee.
Oh, yeah. And the filmmaker Ayan Mukherjee. It's like this whole interconnected web of talent.
That's wild. But even though, she came from this family where like everyone was in the business, this biography said that her parents weren't like super supportive of her becoming an actress at first.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
Why do you think that was?
Well, I mean, maybe they knew how hard it was,
Yeah, that's true.
Even though they were in it, they saw the ups and downs. And maybe they just wanted something different for her.
They wanted to protect her.
Yeah, or they had other aspirations,
Right, like be a doctor, be a lawyer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But she did end up going into acting, and her first movie was actually a Bengali film.
Right.
By her
From 1996?
In 1996, and it was actually directed by her dad.
Oh, wow. So like a real family affair to get started.
Yeah. And then she made her Bollywood debut just a year later.
Yeah.
Raja Ki Aayi Bharat in 1997.
That's right.
And that role that she played in that movie was not like a lighthearted, first role. No, not at all.
She played a character who was a rape survivor and was seeking justice.
A really intense subject matter
to
take on for a first film.
So what do you think that says about like her even early on wanting to like...
I think it shows a willingness to like dive into these like more serious roles.
Yeah.
Maybe not just be like the, typical romantic lead.
Right.
So it kind of shows like a commitment to the craft.
Yeah.
From early on, I think.
Right. And the movie itself didn't do amazingly well.
Yeah, box office wasn't huge, but
her performance was like noticed.
People took note. Yeah, she was recognized as like someone to watch, someone with potential.
Yeah. And then 1998 was kind of a huge year for her.
Oh, yeah. Things really took off.
First with Gulam, starring with Amir Khan.
Big star.
And of course, the song Adi Kya Kandala.
Huge hit.
Everyone knows that song.
I mean, everyone knows that song even today.
Do you think that like having that song be so popular really helped? Like,
it was massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of like put her on the map. It wasn't just a hit. It was like a phenomenon.
Yeah.
And it gave her this instant recognition.
Right.
That maybe the first film alone wouldn't have.
Yeah. And then that same year.
She
was in Kuch Kota Hai Hai.
Oh, my God. What a movie.
With Shah Rukh Khan and her cousin Kajol.
Amazing.
That movie was like, I feel like the soundtrack for like a whole generation.
Yeah, a total cultural touchstone.
So what do you think made her performance as Tina in that movie?
So good. So memorable.
Like, so memorable.
Well, I mean, first of all, she's like a great foil to Kajol's character.
Okay.
She brings this like sophistication, this grace, and she kind of goes through this transformation from this, more traditional love interest to someone who's like finding her own voice.
Right.
And that really resonated with people.
Yeah.
I mean, she won the Filmfare Award for Best Supporting Actress for that role.
Wow.
So that really solidified her as like, okay, this is a rising star. We need to pay attention.
Yeah. Yeah. And she just kept that momentum going
Yeah.
in the next few years with movies like Hello, Brother, Hardle Jill Pierre Carrega,
Takes hits.
Chori Chipki Chip.
Yeah, really building a strong foundation in the industry.
Yeah. But then this biography kind of calls out the period from like 2003 to 2006 as her like golden era.
The golden era of versatility and acclaim.
Okay.
I mean, if you look at the films from this period, it's like, it makes sense.
Yeah. Like Sathiela from 2002.
Right.
Such a beautiful, like, romantic movie.
Yeah, a real tearjerker.
And you could just see, like, a different level of depth
Maturity in her acting.
in her acting.
That's for sure.
And then Schulte with Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah, the chemistry was electric.
Yeah, what was it about them that was just, like, so...
They just had this, like, natural spark.
Yeah.
You know, felt effortless.
Yeah.
And you just really believed in their connection.
Right. And then 2004.
2004 was a big year.
2004 was huge.
Yeah.
She did Hum Tum, which was, like, a romantic comedy.
Yeah.
And she was so good in it.
Yeah. And she won her first Filmfare Award for Best Actress for that role.
Wow. But then that same year, she also did Yuva.
Totally different film.
Totally different film.
A gritty political drama.
And people are like
Yeah. Critically acclaimed performance.
blown away by her.
Yeah. It was amazing to see that range in a single year.
So she's not just doing romantic comedy, she can do it all.
She can do it all. Yeah. She was proving she could handle these really intense and complex roles.
But then 2005,
2005
Ooh.
back.
Black.
Black was a game changer.
I think for a lot of people, yeah.
That people think of when they think of like
Her most powerful performance.
Rani Mukerji
Absolutely.
playing a blind and deaf woman.
It's so demanding
Intense.
for any actor.
So what do you think it was about her performance that was just like so...
She just completely transformed for that role.
Yeah.
You know, she really immersed herself in it.
And you could feel the inner world of someone who's experiencing that kind of sensory deprivation.
Yeah.
It was so sensitive. It was so powerful.
And she won a ton of awards for it.
She did. Had another Filmfare for Best Actress,
Right.
among others.
And it just showed like the brilliance
Yeah.
of that performance.
I mean, it really resonated with people.
And then that same year,
The same year.
she
She was in Bunty or Babbly.
was in Bunny or Babbly, which is like totally different.
180 degrees different.
It's like a fun caper.
Lighthearted fun.
And she's hilarious.
Showcasing that comic timing.
Yeah.
So it really is like she could go from the most intense drama to pure entertainment.
Seamlessly.
Yeah, that's her golden era in a nutshell.
Yeah.
It's not just about box office success.
Yeah.
It's about showing that range,
Right.
that depth as an actor,
Yeah.
moving between genres, playing these complex characters.
Yeah. And then it seems like around 2007, there's a shift
Yeah.
towards taking on like even more challenging and socially relevant roles.
Yeah.
Was that a deliberate choice, do you think?
I mean, it feels like a natural progression. You know,
Yeah.
she's already established herself as this leading lady in mainstream cinema.
Yeah.
So maybe she's like, okay, now I want to do stuff that like really has substance,
Right?
you know, portray these strong female characters
Mm-hmm.
who are dealing with like important social issues.
And the Mardani films are
Yeah.
a great example of that.
Playing Shivani Shivaji Roy, this fearless police officer
Yes.
fighting human trafficking.
He was so good.
So
It's in
good.
those movies.
Yeah, really powerful.
And then Hitchki in 2018,
Oh, yeah.
where she plays a teacher with Tourette's syndrome.
Yeah.
That movie was so inspiring.
So uplifting.
And it really showed, like, you know, resilience and overcoming adversity.
What did you think of her performance in that one?
She was so authentic. Like,
Yeah.
it didn't feel like she was making fun of
No, not at all.
at all.
It felt very real.
It felt very real, and you could tell that she, like, cared.
Yeah, she really captured that passion for teaching
Yeah.
and that determination.
Yeah, and then more recently,
Mrs. Chatterjee versus Norway,
Mrs. Chatterjee versus Norway in 2023,
based on a true story.
which was, like,
Heartbreaking,
yeah.
but so powerful.
And she was just incredible in it.
So raw, so emotional. I mean, these later roles really show that commitment to meaningful cinema.
Yeah, like, it's not just about entertainment anymore.
It's about using her platform
Right.
to tell stories that, like, really matter,
Yeah.
that highlight these important issues.
And the fact that she's been able to have, like, such a long and successful career
Oh, yeah.
and consistently do such good work
It's amazing.
is reflected in all the awards she's won.
She's won 7 Filmfare Awards
Wow.
from over 18 nominations,
That's huge.
plus numerous Starscreen and IFO awards.
Oh.
And she was even nominated for the Padma Shri,
Oh, wow.
which is a really significant civilian honor in India. So that just goes to show like the impact she's had on Indian cinema.
Yeah. Now, let's talk a little bit about her personal life.
Okay.
She got married to Aditya Chopra in 2014.
Right. Very private ceremony in Italy.
Very private.
Yeah.
Why do you think she's so private about that part of her life?
I think it's about maintaining some normalcy, you know?
Yeah.
In this world where everything is so public,
Right.
she wants to protect her family,
Right.
especially since they have a daughter, Dear Chopra. It's about valuing that family time.
And she's done a good job.
Oh, yeah. She's very intentional about it.
You don't see her in the tabloids or anything.
Nope.
It's interesting how different actors kind of like manage that.
Yeah, it's a personal choice.
Yeah.
But for someone like Rani, it seems like that privacy
Mm.
allows her to keep the focus on her work
Yeah.
rather than on like the gossip.
Yeah. And it's not just acting. She does
Yeah.
a lot of like charity work as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, she's a big advocate for child welfare and women's empowerment.
Yeah.
She's been involved in campaigns against human trafficking. She supports initiatives for underprivileged children.
It's nice to see someone, use their platform
Yeah.
for good.
It makes a difference.
So if you had to sum up her legacy,
Okay.
like what do you think
What do I think?
she'll be most remembered for?
I think Rani Mukerji will be remembered as one of the most gifted and versatile actresses in the history of Indian cinema.
Oh, okay.
Her ability to like tap into these really complex emotions
Yeah.
and make them feel so real,
Yeah.
that's what sets her apart.
And she hasn't been afraid to like take on those challenging roles
Not at all.
and really push herself.
Yeah, she's really taken risks.
Yeah.
And it's paid off.
And she's been successful
Yeah.
in both like mainstream commercial cinema
Right.
and those more meaningful,
Socially relevant.
socially relevant movies.
It's a really impressive balance.
So to kind of wrap things up here,
Okay.
we have gone through Rani Mukerji's incredible career
From the beginning.
from her family, being involved in film
Yes.
to her becoming this celebrated actress.
Known for her versatility.
Known for her range, and for the impact of her roles.
Yeah, both commercially and critically.
So you should now have like a much
Yeah.
better understanding of her and her
Definitely.
journal.
Appreciation for this amazing figure in Indian cinema.
And as we end here, I want to leave you with a question.
Okay.
When you think about all the different
Yeah.
characters that she's played,
Yeah.
especially like the strong women,
Right.
what do you think is like the most significant message
Ooh, that's a good one.
or theme that runs through all of her work?
Interesting.
Or how about this?
Okay.
Since she is so private,
Yeah.
do you think that's affected how people see her
That's a great question.
and how her career has developed?
It makes you think.
There's so much to think about with her,
Oh, yeah, there's always more to explore.
with her filmography.
Absolutely.
It's been fun
It has.
chatting about her.
It's been a pleasure.
All right, until next time.
See you then.